Hey guys, Kickassreaction here, and we are back to continue on with more Invincible. We're taking a break from the actual seasons right now as we're doing the intermission between, which is the Atom Eve special episode, I guess. This is whatever this is meant to be. It's actually 55 minutes, so it's the longest episode thus far of the entire show, which is a little surprising. But yeah, we're just getting a special based off of Eve, which is pretty cool, you know? I do like Eve, obviously, so I'm glad to get into this. But yeah, I guess the most obvious thing to really predict about this episode is that it's going to be a somewhat origin story for Eve, given that, you know, her and the team are already well into their careers as heroes by the point when Mark got his powers and became invincible. So because of that, we skipped over a lot of stuff for how this actually happened. So that's like the main thing, is that we're going to jump back in time, see when Eve got her powers, what she did with them, you know, probably how she became and formed the teams of Rexplode, Duplicate, and the robot and the other members of the group. But beyond just that, I feel like having a special like this in between 1 and 2 will probably cement Eve as probably like the second most important character in the show, which she gave the vibes off of in season 1 anyway. You know, around like episode 3 or 4 it was, you know, Eve took a back seat because we were still going through the whole conspiracy with Nolan, Omni-Man, the Amber Mark shit became a thing, and then they went to focus more on Amber because Eve kind of, you know, stepped back from Mark's life when he had that going on. And, you know, for the rest of season 1 at that point, she didn't really have a whole lot to really do. You know, she was, I think, missed out, I think, 2 episodes where we just didn't have Eve in at all, past episode 1. And, you know, beyond that, she left home, she, you know, she lived in the woods, she started helping out the little people, you know, very much like what Mark learned in episode 5. She started using her powers just for the everyday kind of person, to help out, to, you know, create a tree house for herself and all that stuff, and, you know, occasionally meet up with Mark and giving the occasional life advice on being a hero. And that's pretty much what we got. But the fact that we are dedicating an entire special to her origin story does, of course, imply that she is going to have a much bigger role in season 2. You know, and like I said, she might take Nolan's place as the second most important character in the show, because I'm still not quite sure how long I really suspect that Nolan and the whole Viltrumite storyline to even be you know, off the table for, you know, because I feel like we're going to get quite a bit of time to focus on the storylines we built up from Earth in season 1, because there were quite a few with Titan, you know, with Robot and Monster Girl. You know, there's the whole Teen Titan drama anyway, and of course there's Eve stuff going on with her parents and just figuring out who she is as a person anyway. So I suspect that's going to be what most of season 2 is going to be about. And then, you know, possibly season 3 we return back to the Viltrumite stuff and whatnot. Which I feel like if you do it like that, gives a good reason for Eve to actually be one of the most important characters, because it's very much condensed to the single planet. But we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of my big thing there. I guess at the very end we could get a jump skip to present day, possibly another time skip from season 1. As obviously Mark has his whole support group now with William, Amber, and Eve, given, you know, he lost his dad, his mum's kind of broken, you know, and everything in his life is torn apart. So we might get a jump and a teaser for the second season to see what's going to be like the premise of season 2. But most of this is more than likely just going to be backstory with, you know, how she became Atom Eve, you know, what life was like going through that, the adjustment period. Obviously, her parents are very much still not approving of her being a hero at all. In fact, I believe her dad even said it was literally the worst day of his life when Eve received her powers. You know, very harsh to actually say out loud, you know. And yeah, we're going to probably see a majority of that. And I'm excited for it, you know. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So guys, this is of course, my chair gets tangled. There we go. This is going to be the Atom Eve special of Invincible. The longest episode of the show technically thus far, and I'm really curious if that's going to be beaten out. If there's going to be another special of some kind between between seasons 3 and 4, because I believe there is more seasons confirmed at this point. Or if just we'll get a finale that's going to be even larger than season 1 somehow. But anyway, guys, without further ado, this is Invincible, the Atom Eve special. I'm so curious how they're going to do the title of this episode, if it's going to literally be Atom Eve and she's going to get her own custom logo. Which will commence in 3, 2, 1, and play. I mean, that's literally how season 1 started, with a giant explosion.
Divide and conquer. We'll find the serum faster if we split up.
No, my son. That's not a tactically sound strategy. Remember our talk. There could be hidden dangers here. We need to stay together. Strength in numbers.
But, Mom...
Prince Lizard, do not disrespect me. I let you do the explosion, which was noisier than I would have liked. I'll take it from here.
What
nice.
is your command?
Good, I did looking like one of the Mola twins.
Move deeper into the lab. Our intel was spotty, but the serum should be on this level. The flames of this burning world will warm our cold blood. Onward until the Lizard League rules all!
The Lizard League, how fun. And yet, you've got also we got the Guardians of the Globe. Which means, yeah, we are flashing back to however long in time.
The Guardians of the Globe!
That dude's new. Or old, I think.
Stand down and surrender. This is your only warning.
Are we gonna get Nolan?
This doesn't have to get any uglier than it already is.
If heavy hitters like you are being sent in, there's no telling what's housed here.
Pity you won't get a chance
Fair point.
to see it!
Are you sure about that?
Don't let them get away!
Yeah, the guy seems to be in the place of the speedster.
I got him.
Come on, Iguana. You better than this. You're not some hired goon.
Oh.
Don't waste your time, Samson. That dame's alive.
Oh, this is Samsung. He used to be part of the Guardians. Interesting.
Dame in Atlantis?
Well, I guess he's now part of the Guardians again, but you get the point.
Darkwing not coming down.
Still healing after the Chronodile battle.
Oh yeah, and Darkwing.
Little help?
Red Rush?
Red Rush
Busy
was
in
the
Russia.
name.
And Martian Man's helping Dark Blood on some important mission. I'm sure we're fine. But I called in the reservists just in case.
Really? Don't let him hear you call him that.
Yeah, seriously, he will and did kill you.
She's mine. You wish.
I appreciate now I can actually hear the dialogue
Problem with reservists?
over the
Refused to
music.
join the team, but said he'd help out if needed.
That was a
Is
big
that not
problem
the
with
very
season
definition
1.
of the word?
The horrible audio
Got a lot
balancing.
to learn about men.
No interest.
Damn. Yeah, collateral damage is hard to avoid. Or like did not even move. And yeah,
Just in time.
the reserve.
New suit?
Plain white thing not flashy enough for you? Yeah, the tailor said it wasn't iconic enough. Apparently everyone's running around with a big letter on their chest these days. Is that what this is?
Wow.
I only needed a diversion. They're gonna bring the facility down on top of us. The engine weren't due for 2 more weeks.
I'm sorry, Dr. Brandyworth. I don't mean to let you down.
Is this Eve's mom?
I know how important this baby is.
No, you didn't do anything wrong, Polly. I should have found another way.
Yeah, it's gotta be in it. Pink glow,
Getting closer.
all the good stuff.
We have to get you to a hospital. Polly, you're gonna be fine.
Oh, damn.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I did this to you. Erickson, there was an attack. I'm getting Polly somewhere safe.
Bring my specimen back.
She's in labor. We're headed for the Valley Hospital.
That child is too valuable to leave her birth in the hands of civilian doctors. We have a hospital. Turn your car around.
No, the facility's compromised. We can't risk it. The stress she's under.
Bring her back now!
You'll get your weapon. And in the end, you'll thank me for it.
Interesting.
Be careful.
So define
This
orders.
woman is in grave danger. The baby's a superhuman.
We can see that.
Oh, yeah.
We can take it from here, Mr.
Dr. Brandyworth, the child about to be born is unique in every conceivable way. You must be ready for any unexpected.
In any other show, she'd be the main character. Good lord.
No, 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 no.
Well, crap. That's bad, but there's still a living baby in there.
Maternity, where?
Third floor.
Erickson.
No. What have you done? Where's the specimen?
They didn't survive.
Search the hospital. Find me the bodies. Go!
Jesus. I actually did not... I don't know what to make of this, honestly. I didn't think this would be
Better save some tears for yourself, Brandyworth.
such a big
You'll need them.
thing. I didn't think it'd be quite as dramatic for this.
It's nobody's fault. Bad things just...
Jesus.
they just happen.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilkins? We all thought she was gone, but she came back to us.
Oh my god, and they played the fucking switcheroo. So these are adoptive parents.
All on her own. We don't know how, but she did. Your daughter is a fighter.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How lucky her hair's red, right? Unless she dyed it.
She's just perfect. Our Samantha Eve Wilkins.
Bro played the switcheroo. And yeah, we got the Adam Eve. I like how they still went with Invincible though. Amber, I presume. God. Oh, that's so messed up, but hey. You're making the best out of a very shitty situation. And we're rocking the Monster Girl hairstyle. Fascination with atoms and powers. Quite a gifted youngster. The face. Oh yeah.
Sam sure loves her Legos, huh?
I
It's
mean,
the only thing she'll play with.
it's Lego.
Thanks, Zach. We'll be back by 10. Oh, you have our number if you need anything.
Don't worry, Mrs. Wilkins. We'll be fine. At least you will be. I'm screwed if I don't prep for this test.
And she's way smarter than you, so she can, like, do the whole thing.
Huh. You like chemistry, Sam? Then any idea why mercury's a liquid at room temperature when it's surrounded by solids?
Valence electrons.
Huh?
Mercury's 6s found subshell has 2 electrons.
Jesus, talk about
6s
a gifted
electrons
kid.
don't like being friends with other particles. To be a solid, they gotta bond. And they don't wanna. So, liquid. Mercury's funny.
What else do you know?
Imagine that. You're getting tall and you're getting paid for it.
Wow.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilkins, your daughter's a freaking genius. No, seriously, look at this. Sam's been making molecules for me. Check it out. That's baking soda. This one is glucose. And believe it or not, that's magnesium. I have no idea what that is, but it looks super cool.
How on earth? What Lego set is
Last
this?
year, when Samantha kept writing letters over and over again, do you think it was this?
Don't be absurd. She wasn't reading science textbooks. She could barely read at all.
Oh, that's the thing. She has these molecules memorized. Like she could just see them in her head. Well, I think it's pretty cool.
Bro's reaction is, like, the dad's reaction is kind of...
Thanks, Sam. I'm gonna ace my
kind of
test.
weird,
Mr.
honestly.
P won't know what hit
Like, he
me.
doesn't even know about the powers yet. They're not even come out yet, and he's acting like it's a problem she's gifted.
Maybe Zach's right. It would explain a lot.
He's
Yeah.
16. For all we know, he made it all up.
What if he didn't? There are special schools. Ones for gifted kids.
Oh, she's not gifted. She's just weird. Public school's fine.
What the hell,
Neighbor
bro?
called me last week because she'd been staring at his tree for an hour. Maybe she's not weird. Maybe she's smart.
The neighbors are talking about her? What's the name of that school for weirdos?
Why? What? Like, what? Alright, first of all, why you got a painting that's just an orange? And second, like... what is this guy's problem, honestly? What the fuck? Calling her weird for being smart? Are you not, like, not even relieved? You got a smart girl.
Now concentrate on maintaining your form.
Oh my god, that's disturbing. On every level.
I said...
I'm trying.
Why you still bother with these failures is beyond me. He can barely keep his skin on his bones.
Phase 2's abilities are still impressive.
I don't want impressive. I want the ability to change reality. I want death on command. I want powerful beyond measure.
Yeah.
They almost had it.
You strive for the omnipotent, but...
return to your tube. You shouldn't be out for too long.
that's highly improbable.
Go. We're making progress.
You're making failures. And if I don't see something different soon, you on the tube next.
And I presume Amber.
Hi, I'm
Samantha Wilkins, right?
Yeah. I guess you know I'm the weirdo that lives across the street from you.
That's what my mom said. I'm Belle, the even weirder weirdo who lives across the street from you.
Belle. Cool.
Okay, my turn. Truth or dare?
That's why she likes tree houses so much.
Tell me something you've never told anyone.
It's like her
Something
only
your
chill
parents would be
place.
super pissed about.
Maybe I want to run away, but I'm too scared to do it.
Why?
Because I'm 12 and it's scary.
I mean, why do you want to run away?
My parents think I'm a weirdo too. They just want a normal kid who does her piano lessons and gets straight A's and stuff.
Honestly, you
It's
look
their
a little
fault.
older than 12,
They put you
to
in
be
a special
honest.
school for special kids.
You're like
That's
15.
a guaranteed weirdo making move.
Yeah, but all the kids there are so boring. They just want to be lawyers or doctors or astronauts or whatever.
So what do you want then?
I want to do something that matters.
I'll admit, I like her hairstyle though. I like it honestly more than her current
I'm
one.
serious.
Eve looks better with short hair.
That's why it's so funny.
Samantha? Samantha? Where are you?
I said you could go out for an hour. It's been all day.
Sorry, Mom.
When your mother says come home, you come home. You got homework to do if you want to get your grades up.
My grades are great.
There's other subjects than science.
Everything else is lame and boring.
Your mother and I were told you were special. Hell, silly us. We thought that meant you should go to a school for special kids.
What's so special about them anyway? They don't have any fun or care about anything. They're just a bunch of freaks.
They're freaks? Look at yourself. Isn't that why you belong there?
Jesus. What a fucking jerk.
She knows I didn't mean it.
How is Mummy letting him talk
Didn't
like
you?
that? Now that's terrifying. Little more dramatic than Mark's introduction to powers, but nice. The ability to manipulate atoms.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's some high-class reality power. Nice. Her powers are honestly scary, but we didn't really explore them that much in season 1.
I'm busy.
I made you a snack, sweetie. Cream cheese and olive sandwich.
Cream cheese and olive. Oh my. This girl has some unique tastes as well. Make it a BLT. Make it a BLT. Or a burger. Burger's even better. Fuck what I said.
Dare. But I get to pick what it is. And you can't tell anyone.
Okay.
Give me something. Like anything. Spearmint, right? Now it's cherry. Try it.
Ew, no.
Try it.
How would you do that?
Look,
You're a power.
it's President.
Hey! Nice.
Sam, I'm serious. How are you doing this?
You know how I used to say I could, like, see molecules and stuff?
Yeah, weirdo.
Well, I can also change them around. Like, move electrons from here to there. It's crazy.
Change them around?
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's not just little things like gum. I can make stuff.
And the smarter you get, the more powerful you become.
Stop it.
It lets you. Stop! Stop! I said stop!
It is kind of scary,
Sorry,
to be
I
fair.
just thought it was fun.
It's not, okay? It's freaking scary.
Oh, come on, it's cool.
Normal people aren't supposed to be able to do things like that.
Who cares? Maybe I'm a superhero. Do you know how much fun we can have with this?
I should go home now.
Wait, I'm sorry.
It's interesting. We didn't get much in terms of, like, discrimination against powers in Season 1. Yeah, you'd think that'd be pretty epic, you know? William was all for Mark being invincible. Amber didn't give a shit one way or another.
Val!
But I guess it's just kind of strange, yeah. Oof. Honestly, talk about like the most overreaction ever as well. She just stopped being friends because of this. Did she meet any of the teen team in this school? Honestly, that is the power to change any food into any food you want. Oh, that is so nutty.
Oh, pink! Yeah, this dress could change that.
Face.
Oh, don't be silly. It's adorable.
Okay, a little
Remember
rude.
to write a thank you note to Aunt Penny.
It's something. I like how we do see the more casual uses of powers, like atom manipulation. Honestly, it's a terrifying power when you think about it, but you only usually like depict the destructive capabilities of these kind of powers. The everyday life for someone who isn't a hero yet, I wouldn't want to be a hero at all. It's still so convenient and so epic.
I wish you were a puppy.
Not quite that strong yet.
I wish I had a puppy.
Yeah, not quite OP enough for that.
Huh?
Bro, you could have dressed up a little bit.
Creep.
So how long does she keep this from her parents then? Hell yeah, you got the Incredibles look going. PJs? Or like superhero suit.
No.
Yeah, if Invincible came first, there's almost no chance Gwen's AU design was not based off of Eve, honestly. Like, it's too similar to be a coincidence. And yeah. This is literally like what Gwen does. Can't fly, but can hover in the air with your powers, which is pretty epic. And very dangerous. Oh my god. How did you not die? Woo! Nice! It's interesting as well because we haven't seen any modern heroes in the present day. Not Omni-Man, not the Guardians, not even the small-time villains or heroes. And yep.
This is fucked up. Why are you stealing dogs?
Because no one gives a shit about dogs and they pay for them down at the lab. You need the money or not?
I guess. Just seems kind of mean.
Nice that we're establishing the
Spay and
morals
neuter
of the
your pets,
villains.
Man. Not our fault there's too many.
Is this a young Titan?
Hurry.
Keep your pants on.
Nah, Titan's way too old at this point.
Hey,
Ah, what the hell?
Dude, I think it's a Powerpuff Girl.
Shut up.
both of you shut up.
A Powerpuff
What
Girl?
are you doing?
None
I
of your
guess the
business.
main
Doesn't
Powerpuff
look
Girl
like
was a
it's your
redhead, isn't
business
she?
Either.
I don't know the
Sorry,
names, but I know the
Come on,
designs.
you need to get the rest.
If I can do that, imagine what I can do to those dumb masks you're wearing.
Yeah.
What now? You gonna leave them squirming like turtles on their backs?
Don't come any closer.
Oh, don't worry. I know who you are and what you can do.
Who
That's
are
more
you?
terrifying than anything.
Maybe we could speak somewhere else.
Ever heard of stranger danger? Hard pass, creep.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to talk about where you came from, where your powers came from.
And to be
There's
honest,
no easy way to say this, but
with your power,
I
you
made
could
you,
beat this guy.
Samantha.
I know about the birds and the bees, dude. My gross parents made me.
Adam and Betsy Wilkins are not your real parents.
I'm adopted?
Yes.
Man, that would explain a lot.
Unknowingly adopted,
My
but
name
adopted nonetheless.
is Dr. Elias Brandyworth. I was the assistant director of the Pentagon's Department of Superhuman Research.
Sure you were. And now you eat out of dumpsters.
Yes, yeah, to stay off the grid. To protect you, you were one of my projects, Samantha. A superhero with almost limitless potential, but under the control of the US military.
You're crazy. I'm leaving.
You could see molecules, turn paper into stone, feel the chemical composition of the world in your bones.
Yep.
But you can't change people or animals, never people or animals. I hid you with your parents when I realized I couldn't trust the people I worked with, and how cruel your life with them would be.
Then why come find me now?
Because
Mentor
of your
you.
powers.
Yeah.
The military thinks you're dead. If they discover you're not, they'll come for you. You must stop using them.
What? No, I
Yeah,
can do things
and
that
this is very
matter.
interesting
I
given
can
modern
help
day where
people.
she's an active
I'm
hero.
begging you not to. Samantha, what's that noise?
What noise?
You have to go. It's not safe. Do not use your powers. Go!
Oh dear. So they never once kept tabs off the guy.
Eve!
Mom!
Where were you?
Nowhere. I mean, I snuck out.
Why would you do that? I was worried sick.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
First you got expelled, and now this.
Oh, she
I
actually
said I
did
was
get
sorry.
expelled.
Sorry doesn't cut it anymore. Your father and I have done everything for you. Sent you to a special school. Looked the other way with these odd little habits of yours. Why can't you just be
Normal?
Now that's not what I said.
It's
what
what
you
you
meant.
try to, yeah.
Oh, Eve.
I just want to go to sleep.
It's very coincidental she looks
I love
so
you,
much like this
Samantha.
girl.
I do, but I wish you'd try harder sometimes.
Yeah.
We sent a drone out after our sensors got pinged, but we lost contact after she flew away.
It's her. We don't know that.
It's her!
Alright, it's her. Mate, chill, bro. The most powerful and only really effective specimen thus far.
Old man, white hair, grubby clothes. Have you seen him?
Are you sure he isn't here?
Oh, yes. I looked twice. He's not here.
Very publicly using those powers as well. How coincidental that your first villain is like completely tied with metal. That's very easy to— Hey! Okay, the hero costume came almost out of nowhere, but that's epic.
Get out of my way.
I don't know why she wasn't wearing it as while she was looking
Once you
around.
get it all back, and sit down nicely and wait for the police.
The name's Kill Cannon, not gets beat up by little girls, Cannon.
Then I guess you'll need to go down to City Hall and get it changed.
Bro, just do the Thanos snap. Yeah.
The hell? You're gonna regret that.
Bro, you are getting beaten down by like a 14-year-old. It's like not even making a crack in a shield either.
Sorry, kid. You're just not made for this.
I literally was.
For real. Honestly, this is like the most appropriate villain
Samantha.
for your first one to ever happen, honestly.
How do you keep doing that?
That makes no
I
sense.
have a lot of time on my hands. But you didn't listen to me.
It's just the most
You can't use
well-suited
your
villain for her to
powers,
fight.
Samantha, you can't.
It's Adam Eve when I'm in costume.
Adam Eve, where'd you come up with that?
Adam because, duh. Eve because it's my middle name.
Cute.
No, the cape is cute. The name is awesome.
It's well short though for a
I wish I
cape.
could say the same for your actions.
What? I'm a freaking badass.
Not quite what I mean. When I heard the fighting, I was afraid you might be using your powers. What, you don't even take a day off on your birthday?
How do you know it's my birthday?
Oh.
My parents didn't even remember.
Oh!
Yeah, you know.
That's not good.
It was an important day for me, too.
You told me that before, but I don't think I got all the details. Trade you a burger for some answers.
Why not? Oh, actual burgers.
Tell me about my parents. My real parents. You said I was adopted, so who was my real dad?
I didn't know your father.
Okay, then my mom. Was she your science partner or something? Is that where I got my smarts?
Yes, that's exactly it. She was a valued colleague. She volunteered her pregnancy for an experimental procedure.
What procedure?
We manipulated her amniotic fluid, induced controlled mutational change, flooded her system with rapidly decaying particles. I monitored her around the clock as she approached term. We became close. She begged me to make sure you had a life, that you didn't grow up in a lab alone.
And you fell for the trap, man. You made
You weren't just an experiment.
you
or a
made the
weapon.
work personal. You got too connected.
I was making a terrible mistake. I made plans to get her out, help her run away, but she went into labor early. We saved you, but a normal life. That's all she would have wanted for you. A normal life.
We'll pick this up later.
If you keep doing this, they're going to find you.
I'm wearing a mask, I'm using a fake name, I'm apparently a government-designed superweapon. I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's never that easy. Again, I'm very curious when the whole team thing came into this.
Whoa.
Like, I'm expecting it is gonna happen in this episode, but actually, maybe not. We're about, yeah, 2/3 of the way done.
Fall back and, form a perimeter or something.
What?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here!
Do what the kid said!
Fall back and form a perimeter.
Yep.
Good idea.
It's that fucking Captain America giving his speech in Avengers 1.
Get off of me!
Gross. Well, yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Very disgusting, actually.
What's happening? She's dying. It's hard for us. We're not perfect. Like you.
Who are you?
You don't know? I have to speak for our siblings. They've never been out of their tanks long enough to learn to talk.
Our siblings?
You're phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5.
Man, they fucked up everything
Each
after the
attempt
first
less
phase.
successful than the last, but all one big happy family.
Okay, so you're less good versions of me. Then this should be easy.
Wow. Are you dancing? Crap. Oh, nice! Let's go, pizza cutter! Okay, that's honestly pretty epic. I love the creativity of the powers in this show. It's one of its best aspects. Like, Eve absolutely is the most creative villain in the character, sorry, in terms of powers. And I'm loving how much they're showing that off here. It's just a shame about that, no manipulating organic matter. Because if she had that, Eve would literally be unstoppable.
Look what you're doing!
What I'm doing? I didn't start this. I don't even want to do this.
Then die already!
Oh my god, are you not learning? Stop throwing things at her! You're literally powering her! Hell yeah! Oh, this is interesting. I get why the military would want Eve. She is a god. And I think she's way younger than Mark was when he started. makes you wonder how different the fight with Nolan would have gone if Eve got involved. Because again, what is she, 14, 15?
It'll be worth it to see the light drain from your perfect eyes.
Aw. That was kind of sweet. And again, another thing I love about Invincible is just how realistic it is with, in terms of collateral damage. But this isn't a perfect series like a Batman or Spider-Man where they always save the day or plot convenience save civilians. This is a teenager fighting for the first time in her life, and honestly, this collateral damage is pretty tame compared to what it could have been. Okay, bro, I don't think you're understanding her powers right now. She manipulates atoms and non-organic matter.
We could have a family together. Wouldn't that have been nice?
Sure. We could have all moved in with Dr. Brandyworth. One big freak family.
Brandyworth. He's not our family. We're the best they could make without him. They talk about us like we're not there. Not real. Don't matter. All we hear is how perfect you are, and how perfect we aren't.
I mean, she did good. Is it him? Yeah.
Look who it is.
The good old Doc.
You actually like this monster?
I mean, he's your like main chance of being like a good experiment. That was so stupid, honestly, for him.
Thank you.
They can change into things, alter their bodies. I can't do any of that.
They wanted you to be a perfect weapon, but even I have a conscience. I implanted a subconscious block to prevent you from altering living tissue. You were perfect, but with limits. I wasn't there to do the same with them.
Oh. But that block could be overcome, right? Right.
Get up. Look at me. Look at me!
Just put him out of his misery.
Wait, no!
Oh my god.
Help him!
I can't.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
I'm sorry.
Goodbye, Eve. I wish everything was different for us.
They killed themselves, trying to hurt me.
Samantha! We have... Samantha!
Oh crap. And of
Brandon,
course.
What a treat. Didn't think you'd crawl out from under your rock as well.
I know this guy's voice, but I don't know what from. It happens so often, and it's so annoying when that happens.
She's just a child.
No, she's a weapon. My weapon. And it's taken me years to get her back.
I'll come back. I'll make you someone else.
Well, you are back, Dr. Brandyworth. And you will make me more weapons like her.
Hey, let him go, and I'll stay.
The man who tore you from your mother's womb, and you want to save him? Adorable. But no. We have plans for both of you.
Yeah, but you locked in matter.
You can have me.
Yeah. That she can break out of. I don't think you quite understood what her power is. If you thought that would hold her.
I told you those restraints were theoretical.
Go on. Do something else you regret.
Again,
Just told me how valuable
it's
he
a
was.
gun.
Stupid.
I did. But now that I have Brandon with, his research partner isn't needed anymore.
Are you sure?
Do it!
Is this a mummy?
Who is that?
Where do you think all your brothers and sisters came from?
From mummy? Oh. Oh my god, what the hell?
She's alive! Technically alive. We didn't get her back up and running in time to save her from massive brain damage. But, well, we both know she only had one use anyway.
Fucking hell, what a monster.
You monster!
Yeah. Eve, snap the gun. Snap the fucking gun. Come on, you know you can do it.
Do something!
She was barely alive to begin with.
But hey, she got to see her daughter once, I guess.
Damn it! That was an accident.
You murdered my whole family.
Eve, calm down.
Yeah.
You murdered
Oh, that
my
face.
whole
That face! And the subconscious block is broken.
I see it all now. Every single molecule around us. I could touch them, taste them, control them. I could rearrange your cells to make you whole new people from the monsters you are. You ruined my life. Took everything from me. Killed people I didn't even know I loved.
Yeah.
I am Samantha Eve Wilkins, and I defy you to
We're just going fucking God mode right now. Ah. It was literally just God mode. This is a whole different Eve than the one we saw in season 1. This girl is like fucking nuts. Sadly, man, just... Oh, he didn't make it.
Do you know that these bones will always mine?
What? Where am I?
Oh, she did mess with him. Made him forget all about the research project.
Was this always?
So they haven't learned about the power.
Was this always by design?
Oh, God.
And where have you been?
Adam, wait.
Don't stick up for her. She's late for her own birthday.
Who ate the
You
cake?
couldn't even call.
Who ate
Did you eat my cake?
Wow.
How dare you?
I mean, look at the fat bastard. Of course he did.
I need to go.
Go? Go where? Hey, like it or not, we're the only family you've got.
Rose got a fucking... Oh. Bro's got a fucking intuition power, I swear to God. He knows exactly what to say to get under her skin. Aww.
Samantha, please come out.
I wouldn't be that hard on
It's your
Mum.
birthday. Let's try again.
But Daddy is just a prick, honestly.
Only one I've got.
I actually understood the guy in Season 1 as well. I didn't give him much shit in there, but nah, he's just an arsehole.
Oh, Sam. Oh. It's okay, dear. Shh. It's all going to be okay. I promise.
There was so much they could have still covered from that as well. Holy fuck. Oh, this was not one of the questions I had. But I guess we gotta tie in Mark somehow to this.
You're home early.
Yeah, light day.
And looked
Dad,
angry like always.
Dad, look, I'm gonna be duct tape man. Like, even if I don't get powers, I could just tie people up with duct tape.
Okay, so we already had that
with
talk.
duct tape.
I don't know if that's gonna work as well as you hope it will, kiddo.
Yeah.
And you might rethink that as we peel all this off. Go upstairs and
Yeah, that's
help.
gonna be painful. I mean, lucky you don't have hairs yet.
His powers, is he?
Don't ask me. You're the superhero space alien. But even if he doesn't, we'll love him just as much. Finish dinner while I untape the boy.
So weird seeing this now that we know everything about Nolan and his mission. It's not worth it. Yeah. Oh wow, I really need to make a cut. We actually are about to hit an hour. Well, yeah, because it's 50. I forgot. Yeah, it's 55 minutes in it. That was good though. Again, a lot of questions still in this one. Like we didn't even, like the parents didn't even, we didn't even see the parents find out about the abilities, which is pretty crazy, honestly. That's like one of the main things I was expecting to see from this special, but no. So despite it, we still have a lot of like things to learn about Eve, which is fair, you know, because I want to learn a lot more about Eve in present day as well. Nice. So, I'm going to do my cut, and of course when I come back, we'll talk about the episode. Alright guys, we are back. So that was the Atom Eve special of Invincible. That was really good, honestly. That was really good. Like, if I'm to compare that to the rest of the season of Season 1, I think that's one of the higher tier episodes of the season. You know, we give a lot of context for Eve, while also keeping a lot of the backstory for her, you know, mysterious for the viewer, that may or may not be, you know, revealed to us in time. You know, like the parents did not even learn about Eve's powers in this special, which was very, very surprising. I feel like that was one of the more like obvious things that probably would have happened, but apparently did not. You know, we didn't get the introduction of any of the people, any of the teen teams in this one. You know, Rexplode, Duplicate, Robot. Anyone like that was just out, surprisingly. We also got, I think, our first kind of instance of some, you know, discrimination against the people with powers in this universe with, you know, Eve's friend. I forgot her name. It wasn't Amber, but obviously the girl did not see Eve as normal or, you know, really anything special. So she just abandoned her after learning her powers, called her weird, called her a freak, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, yeah, that is, I think, our first instance, because unless I am going crazy, I don't think we had any kind of like hero discrimination powers angle in the first season, so I don't know if that's hinting for stuff to come in season 2. To be honest, that might actually be a thing. I didn't consider it, but given that, you know, Nolan's whole mission and you know, speech and discussion with Mark and everything was made public, that might honestly cause an uproar in the hero community. You know, fear, despair, you know, doubt in the hero system, you know, looking for corrupt heroes, any kind of people, you know, like, of that nature, might actually be a plot point in Season 2 with Cecil and Mark and everyone. You know, I could honestly see that happening now. You know, it's not an angle that I even suspected for a second, but yeah, it might be a thing, and to be honest, I would be all for that. I'd be very interested in if that happened, which would be cool. But yeah, obviously that unfortunately happened. You know, obviously Eve has had one of the worst lives of the show thus far. Obviously, literally from her birth, she was birthed to just be a, you know, a possession, a weapon for the military. And, yeah, not even seen as a person, but just as property, you know, in an experiment to create some of the most powerful humans in existence. You know, reality manipulation, I think he said, atom manipulation, which obviously what Eve has. I think this is something about black holes as well. They listed a few specific abilities they wanted, and obviously Eve is the first and only successful attempt at creating like a genuine kind of a bred superhuman, which is another plot point that, you know, could be brought up later on in the show. I do like how a number of these plot points are things that could, again, be brought up in Season 2. Like I said, the discrimination thing with humans, the government intentionally breeding humans, you know, to create specific kind of powers and whatnot for them to control under their belt as weapons is another interesting plot point, and we saw that Eve was the first and primal example of that. All the other siblings died, unfortunately, as long with the Doctor. That was, you know, Eve's direct Doctor, unfortunately, did pass as well. So, you know, again, another thing to possibly point out in Season 2. They also did bring up the Lizard team, I believe. I think that's actually one of the first ever team. I think that's one of the first teams that were actually brought up by Eve herself, which is first meeting Mark. They mentioned how like a really shitty team of heroes actually beat the Lizard team, or whatever it was called. So that was a nice little callback to that. Apparently, that actually took on the Guardians of the Globe at one point, which was fun. But yeah, like I said, this was really, really fun. You know, obviously, Mark, I mean, we saw his origin and how we got used to his powers in his in the first season. You know, he had Nolan, he had a supporting cast of people. Multiple people actually knew of his identity and nurtured him into becoming the hero that he is right now, which is Invincible. And we see the exact opposite of that, which is Eve, who, you know, had pretty much no one. Again, her parents did not even learn of her powers in this special, which really surprised me. And she's basically self-taught. You know, she's self-taught to being into what she is, which, again, is really cool. You know, in any other series, I could see Eve being the main character. I could see Eve being, like, you know, the star person of the season. And like I said at the beginning, I do think now we have an even stronger chance of that being the case in Season 2. Because where I would say, like, you know, obviously Mark is the primary character of the universe, of the franchise in Invincible. And obviously I would say that Nolan kind of joined Mark in like the co-joined main kind of cast character in Season 1. And like I said, given the placement of this special, I'm really curious if Eve is going to take that spot from Nolan in this next season, and we're going to have, you know, a co-joined main cast of Eve and Mark both sharing the spotlight for the main character in the season, you know, especially since there's still so much you can still move on and develop with the new Guardians of the Globe, the new teen team, the Guardians that are just all teenagers, which is pretty funny other than Samsung. You know, and obviously a lot of those characters are connected to Eve directly, so you could also use that to, you know, show the backstory of how they met, you know, how they became a thing. Rexplode and Eve were, you know, were a couple at one point, so that's obviously some stuff I like to see, either it being tied into to Eve directly or to Rex's backstory, to develop that guy a little bit, which would be pretty fun. again, there's still a lot of potential to be seen in the next season, and while I'm a little surprised they didn't show it, in some ways I am also really glad they didn't show these things as well, because it leaves more content to be developed and nurtured in the following season. Because after this, I'm still very much now, I'm even more convinced now, I think, that Season 2 is going to primarily be Earth-centric stuff. With the different governings, with, the economy, with, Titan's whole deal, with managing the city that has been run down and everything. I really don't think the Nolan Viltrumite stuff is going to pop up in Season 2 much. Like I said, Episode 1, probably you could still have the aftermath and the epilogue stuff and just seeing how Earth is adjusting now that it's lost its final member of the Guardians of the Globe, who was also revealed to be a traitor of the entire planet. That can still go on, but I feel like after that, we'll have the rest of the 7 episodes primarily being, the Earth stuff, and the stuff that Mark was directly involved in Season 1 while he was still becoming Invincible. And obviously, Eve still needs to find her place as well, because Eve is kind of, she is kind of the crutch for him, obviously, Eve went through all this on her own, but she has been I do like that she has still been giving advice on Mark on how to actually handle a lot of this stuff, since she didn't have anyone to help her out. She sees it as, just the right thing to do, and almost maybe even her duty to help Invincible slip into the shoe, or help Mark slip into the shoes of a hero, and I really like that, it's really cool. And man, yeah, Eve is, again, her powers weren't really shown off too much in Season 1, but her powers are insane. It makes me wonder, genuinely, if she did join, if she, didn't retreat like she was warned to and actually joined Mark in the final battle with Nolan, just how different that battle would be. Because while she's nowhere near as durable as Mark is, her powers are just insane. Like, honestly. Again, that's one of the great things I love about the show, is just how smart it is with its powers, and how much it uses, just how creative it is with powers, even outside of the hero gig, right? Like, changing sweets into, different flavors, turning food into entirely different, kinds of food. There's so much you can do with Eve that, honestly, she almost should be the main character of the series. But, obviously, like I said, if they do a co-cast with Eve and Mark, I'm all for it. I'm still half expecting at this point that Mark and Eve will probably be a pair at some point, right? Because it's like, I know they went back to Amber in the end of Season 1. Again, I have mixed feelings on it, because, well, I still think there's still stuff to do with Amber. I don't really like the whole, pushing off the relationship and then instantly changing back on that right away. I feel like there could have been an adjustment period. And again, I still feel like Eve has the potential to actually be with Mark, right? Because, A, she spends time with Mark and actually gets him as a person, but she also gets the Invincible side of him, being a hero herself, so it does feel like she's almost a perfect match for him, whereas Amber, I can't blame Amber for being upset at Mark, because, he is a hero, he has responsibilities, and unfortunately, those responsibilities do, a lot of the time, take priority over the stuff that she needs, but at the same time, it's like, well, you've known he was a hero for quite a while now, so you should have brought these concerns and issues up with him, and if it's something that you really cannot, accept, then you just need to break up. Like, we don't need to do the back and forth shit all of Season 2. I hope it's not a thing throughout all of Season 2, and we make a concise decision by then, right? Because, again, I still feel like Eve has potential, and if they really don't want to do that, I'd rather we just know that for certain so we can move on with it, as soon as possible, I would say. This really did push up Eve as well for me. I feel like man. I feel like I like Eve more than Mark. I will say that. Nolan is still really high for me, and I don't know between the two, but I think this special definitely did push Eve above Mark for me in terms of my favorite characters, like I said. And I'm really hoping she gets the screen time she deserves in the next season, and anything beyond, because this was really great. This was really fun. She's creative, she's intelligent, as we've seen. And like I said, there's still a ton of potential for Eve to come out, right? So I feel like she probably will push the barrier to be my favorite character, depending on how long Nolan is out of the series for good. But I wouldn't say it's quite there just yet, but again, I really feel like it's not going to be too much before you push Eve to my favorite character at this point. You know, it's great. It also means that, another point is that throughout the entirety of Season 1, Eve even knew that she was adopted, indirectly, which is pretty funny. And yeah, shitty parents, like, really fucking shitty parents. Oh my god, the contrast between Mark and Eve's parents were insane. The dad is just a fucking dick. I cannot defend that, you know. I got his point from Season 1 to where it felt like he was genuinely just, you know, living in an internal, you know, just stress point for his daughter's safety. But he's just a fucking dick. He hates that she is gifted. He hated that, you know, she was intelligent, called her weird and a freak and everything. And just doesn't seem like he even really cares about her, you know. She has a gift and he just doesn't want that to be a thing at all. So, he's an arsehole. You know, both Eve and Mark have complex feelings and, you know, relationships with their parents. But hey, at least Nolan realized at the end that he did care about Mark. He may have beat the shit out of him, but he did realize at the end that he couldn't kill his son. Eve's dad's just a cock who doesn't seem to really care about her much at all. So, yeah, that's a big oof. But anyway, guys, that was the special. That was very different from what we've had so far in Invincible, and like I said, I'm curious if between Season 2 and 3, which is a guarantee, I believe, at this point, and any seasons beyond, if they'll do anything like this again. If we'll have a character that we already know of that, you know, could use some more screen time and some backstory, and we'll push that in the way of a special. Or if we'll meet new characters in Season 2 that, you know, we develop through specials as well. I definitely would like the specials if they can be as meaningful and impactful as this one. If they have if they have a similar purpose to it, to this, I would be all for it. If they don't, it's fine too, if they're entertaining, but this was definitely, I think, worth the special, and I'm really glad that I did see it. So guys, that does it for this video. Eve. I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of Eve in Season 2. Whether that be due to her connection to Mark or not, I honestly don't even really care at this point. I feel like just more Eve in general, it would be great. Hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next time.